Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and 𝕍𝕀ℝ𝔾 placement. Let's get into it. One more thing I wanted to add before we get started here is that I will pick up on the energies of the cards based on the surrounding cards. And the meanings will come through differently every time based on the other cards that are there in the reading. And I get asked this a lot, like how come the meaning of the card is changing? Because the surrounding cards are changing. And I will periodically explain to you why I say what I say, because of the energies of the cards that are there in the reading at that point in time. And I also give you references to the energies that are picked up on the prior cards, and that will affect the meaning of the cards that come after that. So I just wanted to put it out there so that you're mindful of which cards are paired up in the reading. Now, let's get to it. So the first card you have, Virgo, is good news. It further says positive energy. Below down it says your prayers have been heard. Good news is on the way. The universe wants you to have expectancy of positive outcomes in your life. You have the power to manifest what you desire of your highest good by cooperating with the source. Now it's time to celebrate. So this is like a green line. This is like a confirmation from the universe. Further down it says, it is the universe's way of sending you a receipt for all of your hard work and a down payment on the future you are building. That's really funny. Okay, I like how they worded it. Further, it says, let this energy quiet your inner critic. Yeah, inner critic, and I totally relate with this. Virgo, for you, it's so perfectly, I feel, in alignment with the Virgo energy, 6th house. It's about service. It's about your health. It's, what you put out into the world. And, you're the earth sign that's ruled by Mercury. A lot of analysis of the things that you create, in the worldly, and in this world. So whatever you're creating, you're applying your mind. Mercury gives you those ideas, gives you good communication, gives you forward direction, understanding and things like that so that you can create or co-create with the universe. And that's what this energy is about. I think you have been very much manifesting it that ways. It further says, do not analyze the joy away. Yeah, because me see where this is coming from, especially for you Virgos. You have a critical, analytical mind, and you're always analyzing, always lost in thoughts, always, doing the mental work. Further, it says, soak in it. So whatever news is coming, don't just, take the joy away from it. Like, for example, like you got a job now that you did not expect to. Now, this energy is actually asking you to celebrate that information that you get, right? That you have been selected for a role or a position at your work, or you've been selected for something, maybe college, maybe school, whatever that selection for you is, or meaning whatever that thing is for you. It's just an example that I'm giving you. So celebrate that, accept that you have been accepted, and celebrate that moment. Instead of I'm actually visualizing Virgos kind of go over the, the offer and the fine print and making sure that you heard it right, or you're the person, or you were not confused with somebody else. Why were you selected? What are the downsides? Is this going to be the right fit? Will you be able to actually apply your skills? Is it, is it something that you can perform in? And things like that. So instead of getting into that energy of being self-critical, accept the news, go celebrate it, and be joyful about it, be thankful about it. And, when you give the news to people and you tell people about this accomplishment or something, say it with a positive kick in it. Don't say that, oh, I got selected, let's see how it goes. It kind of tells people that, you're not even sure that you wanted that position, just as an example. So instead of that kind of an attitude, say that, yeah, I got the job, and, that I had really wanted, and not in a braggy kind of way, but just, to show your excitement that, yeah, you got the job, and you are excited about it, and you did not expect, maybe in your tone, you can say like you did not really expect it, but you got it and you're happy about it, things like that. So don't look for the downsides or what's the catch in this and why would, I be selected and why would I get it and things like that. That takes the joy away from the news or the milestone or the accomplishment. So don't dim that energy, as like, oh, it's like, I don't believe this. Like, it's not possible. Like, are you sure I got it? And things like that, it's a blessing. Don't, don't dissect that thing open and take the joy away from it. Don't do that. Because, there's a theory, some of you probably know about it, some of you don't, that, look it up anyways. But, there's a theory that I had read about in my psychology, and it says broaden and build theory. It's called broaden and build theory. And what is that broaden and build theory? It's like when you, like, for example, you got the news, right? I'm giving you the example of getting a job. Now you got the news, you're happy. You are happy because you got the news. You're excited. You're interested in that position. And you're also happy with yourself. You're contented, like, yeah, I got the right job for my skills. And that actually gives you a boost of confidence because now you have been elevated, or you've got a dream role that you did not expect. So you beat all your expectations and you made it. Now that you are more aware of yourself, your strengths, your skills, your strengths, and what you can do, what you're capable of doing, you're more aware now of, yeah, these are the kind of rules and I can apply, I can do it, I can make it, yeah, to that point. So now this will encourage you to go further. It will encourage you to, perform, to learn, to grow, to upscale, and things like that. So this is a point where you got that boost, you got that confirmation that your skills are good, and now you will go further, you will create further, you will look further, you will build more resources, you will, your thinking, your mindset has changed. You have broadened your mindset, I would say. And now you're going to build more knowledge, resources, wealth. And because you've been elevated to a certain position, you will talk to new people, you'll build more connections, you will learn more and things like that. So this will transform you, or a Virgo, to make you more stronger, more confident in your own self. It'll make you more resilient. This is that pure growth and the joy that you experience out of it. It's like a bliss. It's the divine blessing you. So, and that's what the universe wants for each one of us, to be in a state of good joy, to be in a state of happiness, a bliss. To be in a state of an elevated spirit and a positive mindset, those kind of things. And even, in a lot of mythologies and a lot of philosophies, there is this principle called as happiness, or I will translate it. It says, I think if I recall correctly, it says ananda, and that means that you are accepting those blessings and you are co-creating for them, not staying stagnant, not dwelling in your victory, but taking it up a notch further. So yeah, there is a lot of air device, which is of course very rightly so, because your ruler is Mercury. So a lot of air element associated with this energy, right? It's the message, it's the message, it's the, what do you call, news itself, the message to the, it's related to the element of Mercury, communication and things like that. So because it brings you more joy, it clarifies things, and you feel lighter. it's like some weight has been lifted. So this is like in tarot there is a suit of swords. So this is this energy is related to that sword suit in the tarot, which is like clarity, processing the information, removing confusion, removing stagnation, uplifting of the spirit. These are all air energies related to the sword suit. So I would say that this is also related. I would say that there is like, when we feel elevated in energy, it actually gets the energy flowing freely in our body, mind, and soul. And it also makes us feel good. It makes us feel happier, and that impacts our health as well. We all know that, because the air element can suddenly shift the energy. It shifts the chi within the human body. And maybe, before the information, before something, or even when you're trying to understand something, a concept that is really difficult, it makes us really anxious. It makes us, it does make us anxious. But once we understand that concept, once we get into it, once we practice, once we rehearse, then that anxiousness is gone. Or once we learn something more and apply it, there is forward movement. The stagnancy is gone. So the state of energy is shifting. And when it happens inside of our body, inside the human body, it changes the state of our being. The air elements there's a lot of deities that people in different philosophies and religions, they pray to, because they celebrate the power of the air element. Like air moves fast, swift movement, and you can't contain air, unless it's in a balloon. You can't contain it unless it's in a tank or it's in a balloon. Otherwise, you can't contain air. It's constantly in circulation. And, if you do that experiment, like you spray something color in the air, if you have powder or something, you can see that colored air or element or colored powder move through the rooms, through the house, and things like that. So it moves really fast. So this is, this element, this of air, it's very crucial. It's very important now when it comes to pollination. This is very important because it carries the pollens from the plants, drops it to different places, so that that seed and those pollens, they get, the next fruit trees can grow. So it brings in a lot of newness, whether it's to transmission of pollen and seeds, or when we give the information, brings clarity. It changes the state of energy really fast. It cleanses the space. It makes space for the new. It cleanses the space instantly, in a few seconds or a few minutes or a few I would say in a few minutes or hours. It just changes the space, changes the energy completely. So air element is really prayed to the deities, and they're revered in a lot of philosophies and religions. Now, for some of you Virgos, I'm picking up energies of you being selected to colleges or offices or things like that. Or maybe you are written some kind of a book which gets accepted, or an article that gets published, I'm picking up a lot of literary energy with this. So some of you might be in the literature, or, something that's accepted region, maybe journals you're writing, or articles, or news media. Maybe you're getting promoted there, or maybe they're accepted to some media houses and things like that, with the air element, we could work out in any space. But I feel for the most part, something which has anything, a field which has something to do with the writing, your books, your blogs, your newsprint, and things like that. Maybe you're getting admitted to media houses or colleges that teach that and things like that. Or this could also be like at your work, wherever you work, maybe you're getting promoted because you got a good review and you have upskilled and now you're ready for next level. So some of you could be even actually learning up about some kind of an industry or business and branching away from the main company to open up either a side gig or a business of your own, because you learned you've learned everything you needed to, and now your desire is to branch out, and nothing wrong with that. And I feel that some of you could be into that as well. So if you look at the picture, there is like a surprise element to this. So something that you were not expecting, of course. So it's positive. And I also feel that some of you could also be like in terms of, sixth house also governs the health sector. So some of you could be, getting into hospitals or getting into some health-related industry, and that's surprising to you. Or maybe a news of a development in the medical industry or service sector is surprising to you. It's like these energies can play out in several ways, whether it's something happening to us or something happening for us. It's like, some of you could be hearing about, maybe maybe you were concerned about your. The next card you have, Virgo, is the Twin Jet Nebula, but it's in the reverse for you. Now, further on, it says here, this is a profound gift of introspection. The cosmos is not asking you to stop being efficient. Yeah, of course, efficient is the key word here for you, Virgos, because, you're more about productivity, service, like we already went over that. It further says it is guiding you towards the deepest form of efficiency, which is a life built on a foundation of inner wholeness. Yeah, we see it. If you see the picture over here, there are two powerful jets of gas. This is gas, this is dust. For those of you, that are interested in reading about stars and nebulas and cosmos, you probably understand from the image itself that there are two different powerful jets of dust, of gas that are moving from a central core system, which is like the star over here, and it's moving into two opposite directions. And it creates this beautiful butterfly, right? It's like very well balanced and like a symmetrical form of a, what do you call, like a image or a shape. Now, since this dust and gas is moving in the opposite direction, they're creating this beautiful this image or this shape. But for you, this energy is in the reverse, Virgos, which means that these powerful jets, which are actually flowing outwards in the picture, are turned in the opposite direction. So they're crossing each other now. Instead of creating this beautiful structure outward, they're crossing each other. And it might seem like in the picture, from what it's seen, just that one is overpowering the other jet. So here further down it says, the focus shifts from harmonious external expression to an internal recalibration of these powerful dual energies. So it further says, this is a divine invitation to look within and rebalance your own dualities. This is not a failure of harmony. It is the necessary and wise process of internal adjustment before you can project a truly balanced self to the world. The external symmetry you seek must first be found within. Pause the outward flow and tend to the central star, which is your own core self, where these powerful forces unite and originate. So going within yourself and integrating those aspects or those parts of yourself that are out of harmony. I feel like it's like balancing your heart and your head. Sometimes our heart is overpowering, sometimes our head is overpowering, but to balance out those energies and come to a decision is the energy over here. Balancing out the dualities. Now, these dualities can be in any area of your life, whether you're overworking, working, and now you need to take a pause to rest. So balancing those out, how much work you want to put in versus how much rest do you need to balance your body out, or you're giving versus how much you're receiving, balancing those aspects out. So something over here is conflicting within you. And that's translating to an external chaos as well. When our internal world is chaotic, it will translate to how your external world is created as well. So you need to first merge, work on those conflicts, heal those parts, heal those aspects, and integrate those aspects, I would say. That's when you will see you will see forward movement in your external world. So I feel that you need to probably, because see, Virgo energy is all about analysis and, analysis and working out the details, detail-oriented. So I feel that when you turn that energy inwards towards yourself, it's about examining our own internal dualities, I would say. So to analyze that, what's the problem inside of us? Why are we in such a conflicted state? And then balancing that out. That will create that internal harmony. So, there is a concept of cognitive dissonance, and probably everybody would have heard it. It's there in it's a term commonly used in psychology when I was reading psychology, and I still do. It's a very nice concept of cognitive dissonance. Like when, we have two belief systems and they're both different. We have two ideas which are completely contradictory to one another. So that's when we need to reduce this conflict in between those two ideas, or in between those two, whatever it is, the values or belief system, whatever that is for you. We need to find that middle ground between those two dualities. And that's that concept of cognitive dissonance. So some of you need to read up about that and try to see how you can work with that energy. It's just like, when we see in the cards, there is like a opposing principles, like especially when we're trying to alchemize things, right? It's the, it's like finding the balance between two opposite principles, like the sun and moon. And you will find that often come through in a lot of energy reading cards, that they're trying to balance energy. Sun is yang, moon is yin. We try to balance out these energies, or we try to balance out the energies between a divine feminine principle and divine masculine principles, right? The king and queen energies. We need to find a middle ground to that, or whether it's anything, balancing on recoloration of the opposite energies and creating, coming from harmonizing those energies from within and creating like an integrated, wholesome space from where we react, from where we not react, I would say from where we respond. And that process, once we finally integrate these two dualities, all these opposing forces, we come to a state called as the philosopher's stone. And that's the ultimate goal of alchemizing these energies. So I feel that it's take a moment to see, where these dualities are coming from, so that you can get to the bottom of it, and then you can start working your way up. Because when we are conflicted on the inside, even your outdoor expression of it will seem to be conflicted. You will be running in two different directions, and you really don't know what's going on. So instead of that, refocus on yourself. Take that moment and see how you can reconcile those dualities within yourself first. Now, it's just similar, these energies can be within you, or it could be, you could be experiencing this even in around you, at your home, at your company, or even in your neighborhood and community, or at a global level as well. I have seen a lot of this energy play out, like, a lot of, I would say, consolidations that are happening. Like, for example, like if you are into building something, or maybe it's like you have, like, it's like when you see two plots of land, you want to combine it into one rather than have them separate. You want to combine it into one. So some of you could be doing that as well, combining two homes into one, forming an internal connectivity system, or connecting two lines together, or something like that. It could be as well. For some of you, it could be that your energies are scattered all across. Like you're doing this, you have a main job, you have a second job, then you also have a side gig or something like that, and you're trying to pause everything else and focus primarily on the main career. So, that kind of a consolidation is what I'm talking about. And then some of you can, for this, the best remedy is to just take some space and time out for. The next card you have, Virgo, is the Six of Fire, and it further says forgiveness. Now here we have the goddess of forgiveness, and she, in the center where there's heart chakra, there are 6 flames that are radiating outwards, and her hands are open. Open hands are symbolic of generosity, of giving, of releasing as well. Now, it further here says the priestess of forgiveness comes to you when you need to examine where you have been withholding love from yourself and others. Forgiveness is essential now to let the loving light of the goddess fill your heart. Let your ego and judgments of others go forever. Let your world and your very DNA be transformed through the power of forgiveness. Yeah, this is the energy of Jupiter in Leo. There's the 2 lights at the bottom of the picture. If you see on the left side, there is Jupiter, and on the right side, there is Leo, the life of Leo. So the negative energy, the negative spectrum of this energy is, see, Jupiter is expansion, growth, and Leo is 5th house, which is boldness, confidence. The caveat with this energy is arrogance, overconfidence. This is also like, attention-seeking movements or drama, some kind of drama. Also, there is a little bit of rigidity that comes with this Jupiter in Leo, because you're too rigid with your belief. Like whatever your belief system is, you're too rigid, and you're not able to adapt to the changing situation or changing circumstances, or change your mind about things. Even when there is new data, new information, you're unable to adapt to that, whether it's at work or in your personal life. It could be, or in your neighborhood, wherever this is. So that's what this priestess of fire, or this goddess of fire, is here to encourage you to lead royally with generosity, with confidence and authenticity. I feel this is more about transforming your DNA. When it says DNA, it's all about transforming our patterns, family patterns, or inherited patterns, or something which is repeated, cyclical. So to break that chain, there is a chain which is around her heart. So breaking those chains, or releasing your heart from those chains, is the core message of this. Further down it says, holding a grudge is the most inefficient use of your precious mental and emotional energy. By choosing forgiveness, you are not erasing the past. You are declaring your soul, optimizing your inner world for peak performance in joy, health, and creativity. You are the victor who walks away from the battlefield of resentment, not with trophies of blame, but with the priceless prize of inner peace. Choose your freedom. You have already won. Yeah, so further on it says here, forgiveness is not about condoning a wrong or forgetting what happened. It is a strategic and powerful act of self-liberation. You are choosing to drop the heavy weight of anger so you can move forward, unburdened and victorious. The battle is over. You win not by holding a grudge, but by reclaiming your peace. Release the past and claim the victory of a lighter, freer future. Absolutely. It's like, when we hold resentment, it's a slow poison. It hurts us more than anything else, more than anyone else, I would say. So, and disagreements is a part of our daily life, whether it's at work or any place, it could be in any area of your life. When we are tied to those emotions of resentment, anger, avenging, and things like that, we destroy our own health, our own inner peace. So this goddess, this priestess, is asking you to open your heart to newer ways of being, to being having a healthier way in relationships, or new opportunities which are more aligned authentically to you. And that's what's going to bring you more peace. It's going to bring you more freedom emotionally. So you get a chance to break these cycles of negativity. Her heart is in shackles. If you see on the image, there is a chain which is around her heart because she's been holding on to a lot of resentment. And this fire is transformative. It's the fire that burns away the negativity. It's here to burn away the negativity and to clear the space from negativity. Burning away the past, burning away resentments. And that's the light that will allow you to shine brighter. That's the fire will purify your heart and soul and keep you healthier, make you feel more stronger and confident. So this energy of forgiveness is more about, it's kind of an antidote to poison, right? It's the antidote to removing harsh criticism. We already saw your energy of harsh criticism with that nebula card, right? It's the twin jet nebula card. We saw that you're having harsh criticism either of somebody, either yourself or other people around you. And this is what this energy is asking you to burn that harsh criticism away. It's the antidote to that energy, so that you feel emotionally calm, cool, and it makes you feel lighter. It makes your health better. It makes you more efficient, allows you to focus better, creates the harmony in your life and around you. So it's, and this energy is about forgiveness from the heart space, not from the mind. It's not just about saying, I forgive. And then you keep holding on to those resentments or keep bringing up those resentments in your conversations later. It's not about that. It's not another checklist item that, yeah, I've forgiven. It's talking about a true release, true emotional release. It's not about just saying it out loud or just try to be the bigger person. It's not about pretense or drama of forgiveness. It's actually forgiving from the heart, and to not be too logical or analytical about it. It's like sometimes, it's like, for example, you're in a business and you have a business partner and, something's went downhill in a business. So, and you are angry about it and you're writing or you're talking to your business partner like this, that, and the third. And then later on, you realize that, what is the point, right? Yeah, we came together, we partnered up for a reason, and yeah, things went downhill. But can I find forgiveness in my heart? Can I, sometimes situations, we have a part to play in every situation that goes downhill as well. So, it's like analyzing, 360 degrees of the situation, and you're finally finding that space in your heart to forgive yourself for your contribution to the situation and forgiving other people as well. Not just bringing up those same things over and over again and keeping that hurt open. It's not about that. Even health suffers because of this, because when we're in a negative energy, when we hold on to resentments and grudges and things that, just that on the third, it actually impacts our own immune system. It actually weakens. It has proven to weaken the immune system because it adds on to the stress. It elevates our blood pressure. It reads on our heart. And that's why there is this heart chakra shown over here, because once you free your heart of these grudges and resentments, it makes your heart feel lighter. The energy flows without any, free flows. Energy freely flows in the body. So forgiving is actually a true medicine for the soul, for the immune system even. In Hawaii, there is a term they call ho'oponopono, and I really like that. For those of you that really don't know what ho'oponopono is, look it up, but I'll just give it to you briefly. It actually means I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you, and things like that, because ho'oponopono is a concept which is based on an idea that we are responsible for everything that's happening in our reality. And when we clear our own internal working, our own internal data and everything, we heal ourselves and the people around us or our relationships. So Ho'oponopono is a really great concept, and I completely stand by that concept. So here, this energy of fire is not about aggressiveness or about ego. And the last card for today, Virgos, you have is the bats in the belfry number 7. It further says you can achieve great things. It's a beautiful image, very gothic. This girl, Palace, has bat wings as well. She's thinking of things. And of course, there is a bell tower in the back, if you can see. There's literally a belfry over there, and there are bats in the picture. Now, when it comes to bats, they're not near her. They're doing their thing. They're flying in the sky. And, bats cannot see for the most part. They only see in the dark. They cannot see during the day. And they have this process called as ecocolation, if I'm saying it right, where they follow their internal guidance system. They follow things and, they understand their surroundings through the echoes, the return of the echoes and a noise and things like that. So further down, it says, embrace your inner visionary. Your mind is not a sterile laboratory. It is a secret Gothic belfry where brilliant ideas swirl and take flight in the moonlight. Your meticulous nature provides the strong structure. Now let your intuitive bats fill it with dynamic, life-giving energy of innovation. Trust the process that looks like chaos to others. Your unique path is not a sign of madness, but a map to greatness that only you can read. Your greatest achievement is waiting in the dark, and you have the perfect sonar to find that this is so beautiful. Yeah, achieving great things through unconventional approach. Maybe you're doing unconventional things. Maybe you're thinking outside the box. And those solutions shows ideas are actually working out. And for some of you, maybe you're working on projects or doing things on your own, having a business which is unconventional, which nobody understands, but then it's working for you. So, whatever others are thinking is not really a point of our concern. It's the having faith in our own judgments, even though it might be going against the principle, against the green or the common crowd, but you know where you're going with this. So I do feel that you might be finding, out of the box solutions to problems that sometimes, when we're just not even thinking about that problem, or maybe you're, maybe it's a problem at work. Maybe you are creating something, a project, and you don't understand like how to fix this problem. And suddenly, when you're sipping a cup of coffee or reading a book, that idea comes to you. That kind of a thing. It's also called as a shower thought, even though I would say it's a shower thought, even though you might not be in the shower, or you might be just getting up and you're relaxing or in the shower as well. But it's just that, it's doing things in a way that maybe people don't agree or they don't understand, but then, it's working for you. Again, some of you might be organizing and doing things in an unconventional approach that, people don't really understand. In athletics, there's a star, I would say, that the star athlete, his name is Fosbury, and he invented unconventional techniques for high jumps. And I believe it's called Fosbury flop. Because I do follow a lot of sports. It's a technique. It's a unique technique for high jump, and it's a little quirky in the way that it's a backwards method, and people didn't understand that, and he was not appreciated. He was mocked a little bit. But then those approaches, that approach, that technique that he invented, it actually got him a lot of golds and accolades. And now that Fosbury flop is now used as a standard technique by a lot of athletes. So that's what I'm talking about, Even it's like, I would say, seeing the value in unconventional things. It's like, the fashion designer, like Iris Herpin. She uses very unique technologies for fashion, for creating the clothes. It's through laser cutting. She uses 3D printing, she uses laser cutting. And when you look at the clothes, the collection, it feels like it's like from another world, I love that collection. Not promoting anybody's book, but I'm just I'm just saying like what I'm thinking. Like, I really appreciate that quirkiness, that uniqueness, the thought. And that's what I call genius, people who see paths and things where what other people miss. And it could be any kind of quirky ideas. It could be any kind of ideas. Like, even in the homes, you find there are tiny house movements that are going on across the world where people are choosing lifestyle in their own way. They own small homes. They feel financially free. They downsize. They have closet capsules. So yeah, it's a miniature dwelling, but it works for them, so they go for it. It's unconventional, that it's getting popular now. So things like that, what of a kind idea. Now, some of you might be even working on old things and giving it a new lift. Whether it's giving a new lift of the clothes, or whether giving a lift of a furniture, you're repainting it, or DIYing something and giving it a new lift. For some of you, this could be on a bigger level, like maybe a land that you got and you're giving it a new makeover, maybe doing something with that land. Or maybe you got an old van and you're transforming it into a house. I've seen a lot of people like convert the vans into camper vans and things like that. So you could be doing something like that. Maybe something got decommissioned or something like a ship or a boat. Maybe you're reusing that for some purpose, as an organization. Or maybe an old building is being reused. And I already told you about that, how I saw a old school being transformed into a hotel. So they preserved the structure, they preserved everything about that school building, and they transformed it into a hotel or a motel or something like that. So those kind of quirky solutions now, even the countries are getting unique with their ideas. Even Netherlands, I was reading about, they have now they're designing their homes and communities around a new concept, not new, but a new, more recent concept. It's called bicycle superhighways. And they are all about using more bicycles rather than cars. And they're doing that in their buying of the communities, creating of the communities, which is like everybody who's like, it's like, it's very different from the conventional norm. But then, it's really working for them. It's really working for them. People are appreciating it now. Even in science, some of you could be creating breakthroughs, having breakthroughs in science. And the last breakthrough, we know that mRNA technology was used for vaccines. And that was unique. And when it came about, and I was really curious, 3-4 years back when it came, mRNA technology, it was a very unproven technology that they used. And, it achieved so much. They create vaccines, and it was a huge global distribution and use, and it gained a lot of popularity. So that was something like really unique, one of the most recent unique scientific breakthroughs that I had heard and read about. So something like that, people might think that, oh, well, you gotta do this, it's a waste of time. But you're like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have SETI, I'm going to create this business. I'm with media, I will bakery or a restaurant that, sells unique recipes. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.